everybody, welcome to Do It Yourself Astrology with me, Rachel Stuart-Haas. Today we're going to talk about the dreadful Mercury retrograde, which really isn't so dreadful after all. What I want to do is kind of go through all of the houses that Mercury retrograde will go through depending on where it is in your chart. So if you know your ascendant, fantastic, let's use that. If you don't, that's okay, and you can use your sun sign, and we will go from there. If you want your chart drawn up, you can always contact me and we can get your chart drawn up and we can get a reading for you and we can get more into what this Mercury retrograde means for you. But let's begin with Aries. So if you have an Aries ascendant, are you just an Aries sun? And of course we can look at that too. Then you have this Mercury retrograde, which is, by the way, in Pisces, in your very secret 12th house. Now we know Neptune is already in there, so you are getting crazy insightful dreams. You are wonderful revelations from your psyche are coming up, and this Mercury retrograde is only going to further this for you. So it is a fantastic time for you to journal, to kind of get into sorry, that was my computer that you heard. You'll be able to kind of tap into some hidden parts of yourself, and it can be really, really healing. But really the Mercury retrograde, which is going to fall from March 5th to March 28th, is just going to be quite amazing for you dream-wise. Really, really rich stuff. All right, if you are a Taurus rising, or you have your sun in Taurus, then this Mercury retrograde is going to take place in your 11th house. The 11th house is the house of friends, groups, future oriented stuff. It's the community. So again, this may be people from the past that are coming up. This could be the plans that you have set in motion are kind of like, whoa, let's reconfigure some of these things. I'm really not sure how to move forward. And so during March 5th through 28th, hell no, don't move forward. You're not supposed to. And it used that time for where you just kind of pause and think about things. I also want to say, before we jump into everything, that the retrograde, of course I've said it before, starts on March 5th, but there's a beautiful new moon in Pisces on March 6th. So even though, we're not allowed to move forward, there's something kind of fresh and being reborn and rejuvenated. It's a sort of, it kind of helps this Mercury retrograde out. And Mercury retrogrades are not to be feared. Yes, technically things get messed up if we move too quickly, and being that in Pisces, it's urging us not to move too quickly. Okay, Gemini. If you are a Gemini rising, or if you have sun in Gemini, then this Mercury retrograde is taking place in your career house. And many of you with Gemini rising are definitely going to want to take many breaks from work during this time. It's natural. You're just don't feel like projects are moving very quickly. They could be very frustrating for you. And you may just feel like you're in absolute vacation mode. Likewise with the Cancers out there, the Cancers and the Cancer risings, those who have this Mercury retrograde moving through that ninth house. That ninth house is the kind of travel house, the learning house, the seeing the big picture kind of thing. And I see a lot of people who want to travel and vacation because it's kind of like you go and you learn something and then you want to bring it back and you want to tell everyone about it. So you may kind of be, because this Mercury retrograde is in Pisces, which is incredibly whimsical, you may be daydreaming a lot about your next big escape. Those Leo risings out there are, if your sun is in Leo, this Mercury retrograde is in the 8th house. The 8th house has a lot of things going for it. It is sex, it is other people's money, but mostly it's shared energy. So as this retrograde is happening in this house, if you are partnered up, there could be some issues happening with your partner's money. That is one thing that could be happening. It could also be that as Mercury retrogrades through your 8th house, this is also the house of rebirth. So it's a fantastic time if you want to change something within yourself, if you want to alter anything going on in your life right now, then you are really going to be having an amazing opportunity for that. Because I love Mercury retrogrades as far as, okay, let's stop. Let's reorganize ourselves. Let's clear out things. Let's reevaluate everything. So I love having a Mercury retrograde in that 8th house because it only gives that extra oomph for that kind of stuff. So that's for Leo risings. Virgo, this Mercury retrograde is opposite your sun, your ascendant, and it's pulling in relationships. So again, this is very similar to having Mercury retrograde in the 11th, where there is the possibility of people kind of coming back into your life around this time. And if they're not physically coming back into your life, then they may be psychically coming back into your life, where you're just thinking a lot about them, dreaming a lot about them. We want to make sure that we're not being a little delusional here, because Mercury in Pisces, very close to the planet Neptune, it has a very fantasy feel for it, which is wonderful for creativity, for art and music, but we can really put the rose-colored glasses with this one on. So all you Virgos out there and Virgo risings, we want to make sure that we're seeing issues and people as clearly as possible. So watch for that from March 5th through the 28th. Watch for being able to see things clearly, and check yourself, because it's going to be a little bit difficult and you can do it. All right, Libras. The Libra risings and Libra suns, this Mercury retrograde is happening in your 6th house, and this is scheduling, and this is work, and this is health, and this is diet. So you want to get fit, you want to start a new diet. I think that's a lot of people's goals. It's a great time to do it. It's a great time to kind of go through your routine, go through, what you are, your day-to-day, and if you're kind of thinking, oh, I need to change some stuff up, work on your health, make those doctor's appointments, go get that nutritionist. This is the time to do it. We don't want to completely just say, well, it's Mercury retrograde, I'm not going to do anything, because it's a long time not to do anything. We got to do some things. So I find the 6th house Mercury retrograde to be a great time to kind of spiff yourself up physically. It's really nice for that. All right, Scorpio ascendants and Scorpios. This is happening in your 5th house. So the 5th house is children, art, creativity, but it's how you are childlike. So as a Scorpio rising or a Scorpio sun, there's all these issues coming up where you could really tap into your creative and your playful side. What makes you light up? What are those things that lit you up as a child that you have kind of neglected, and that you're kind of missing out? If you're kind of in the same blah routine, go back and think about what as a child made you excited, and maybe we want to kind of delve more into that a little bit. Okay, you Sagittarian ascendants and you Sagittarian suns, this is taking place in the 4th house. So there could be some things with the home that you want to change up. You hate the color of your house, you want to repaint something, you want to redo something. I would advise you to play with the idea, but not to act on the idea. So if you can kind of do more of that, and just like get some ideas, tear out some things from magazines. But if you want to rearrange some stuff, if you want to clear things out, Mercury in retrograde is amazing for that. Capricorns, Capricorn risings, Capricorn suns, 3rd house. 3rd house is communication, writing, siblings, how you speak, how your brain functions, how you learn, all of these things. And I find that when Mercury retrograde goes through the third house, I've noticed that people sometimes become a little more antisocial because if Mercury is going backwards and it's not really pushing forward in the way that you communicate, I notice that people kind of get tripped up on themselves, or they feel like they're not being understood, or they can't get their point across, or they're like, oh, what's that word called? I can't really think of that. So they almost find that it just becomes exhausting, and you just kind of want to take a break from that. But another thing to do if you write, if you journal, Mercury retrograde can be a great time to really kind of dig into yourself and see what's there without worrying so much what other people are thinking about it. So it can become a phenomenal time to really figure out what's going on there. Aquarius rising and Aquarius sun. Second house, it's money. You know, it's very simple when things happen through the second house. It's what you value, it's your self-worth, and it's, you know, your income. So here we are, tax time. So I bet you a lot of Aqua risings are going to be full on in March. You know, really up and up, organizing their income, their taxes, all of that. It's a great time to do it, and just make sure you're crystal clear on everything money wise. If you were an Aquarius rising, chances are the high possibility that you have Pisces on the cusp of your money house. If you have Pisces on the cusp of your money house and are Neptune, which most of you Aquarian risings do, going through your money house, chances are you're not really paying a great deal of attention to your finances right now, which is typical of Neptune to be in there. So the Mercury retrograde is kind of helping you out with this. It's saying, all right, let's stop. Let's really focus all of our stuff on here because you just haven't been paying attention. So use it. It's good. Pisces rising, Pisces sun. This Mercury retrograde is in your sign, so it's going to affect you. It is in your first house. This is your image, this is your persona, this is the mask that you wear to the world, and you're rethinking some stuff. And it can be as simple as, you know, I really want to change my hair. I really want to change my outfit. I really don't like this kind of vibe that I'm putting out. And it can be even bigger especially if your image is part of, you know, your whole business strategy. There's a lot of things that you're rethinking. I advise you not to act again until after April 28th on these things, but insights galore. So I hope everybody has a very great and safe Mercury retrograde. These Mercury retrogrades happen 3 times a year, and they can be really helpful. They can be fantastic for helping us, you know, really. It's basically the universe saying, hold up, let's pause for a minute. We don't need to push through things that are just going to be more frustrating, that aren't going to get accomplished. We are actually able to kind of step back, shift some things around, do some reevaluation, and figure out exactly what the hell we were doing. So take advantage, use it. It's always good to just pause for a minute, let things percolate, and then when the timing is right, aka after March 28th, voila, we move forward. All right, everybody, thank you so much for making it this far into the video. Thank you for watching this. Please hit subscribe, and I will be posting more of this. Any comments are greatly appreciated. Let me know what you want me to talk about, and your wish is my command. Have a great day, everybody. Goodbye.